Over the last 10 years, Centum built the first mixed-use urban node, the Two Rivers, which is where we are sitting today, and which houses the largest mall in East and Central Africa. Someone was actually telling me that if you put the steel that was used in this building and you lay it all the way to Mombasa, you'd come back and start going back to Mombasa. That's how huge a development it is. And today we are privileged to host the visionary behind it. My name is Pius Mushiri Mugo, the Managing Director of Nambo Capital, and you're watching Invest in Africa. James, welcome.
Thank you.
Wow. I have so many questions. How did you do it? What were your highs and what were your lows?
Okay, first, I didn't do it alone. I was a member of a big team. Many players. I think one I would like to note is Dr. Chris Kirubi, who was all along with it and moving with it and spent a lot of his time here. But it's been a long journey, but it's a journey where we started off with a vision, and we kept on refining our vision as we went along and broke that journey into various parts and dealt with each of the challenges that came along the way sequentially. The first challenge was acquiring the land. That was a huge effort. There were many parties competing for this site. We even did not have at the time the money to buy the land, so we also had to raise the money to buy the land. The next battle was the master planning, getting the change of use, getting the regulatory approvals. That took another 2 years. And after that, it was then the construction phase, starting with the infrastructure, which we began in 2013. And then then putting up the first infill development here, which was the mall, which we began in 2014. And which opened last year, culminating now with us moving here to have our offices here, because that was always a dream I had, that one day Centum will move to its own location, to its home. So it's great that after almost 50 years, since when the company was incorporated, they finally moved to their home, and it's right here in Two Rivers. But you know, the journey is not done. The painting we have in mind and what is there today, I think we are maybe 20% there. So it's an incomplete canvas for me. So far, so good. So if you ask me whether I'm content and happy with what we have, I'm far from content. I'm very discontented, and I'm always thinking, having that sense of urgency. What more do we do? How do we complete the other parts? Because the idea of Two Rivers, it's meant to be a city. It's an urban node. It's a city with a variety of uses, and so far we've only actually out of 100 acres, the portion that is built is less than 15 acres. So we have another so much to go to fill the other nodes. So it's a journey that is. We started off, and today there are at least maybe 100 people directly employed by Two Rivers. Many more partners have come on board in the form of other third-party developers. Other investors have come on board. So now it's a match where there are many of us on that match. And I'm happy to have played the role that I've played so far, and others are now with us on the match, and eventually I think we'll have a node that will enhance the competitiveness of this region.
It's interesting you mentioned Dr. Chris Kirubi. I've had him in a couple of occasions say, you know, I put aside my own projects to be involved in this. And what will you remember him for as far as this development is concerned?
I think there are many things he did, and there are many memories I have. We have together on this site. I think the ones that are distinct to me are 3 memories. One is when we were late, the construction was late, completion, and we came here and we were having lunch with the construction workers, where you now have the theme park. That's why we're having our lunch of Githeri and the rest, sitting there with the workers, you know, encouraging them. We're in this together, we need to finish. And we sat there with Dr. CK and chatted with the workers and to get the thing done. That is one of the memories I have. The other one is what is today the CK Square, which is the area between the mall and City Lodge. That square was not in the original design. And he came here over the weekend, and there was meant to be a ramp going down. And he came up with the idea of having that square there, so that you then have a continuous flow. So essentially designed that area, and that's why we call it CK Square. That was physically what something. If it was not for him, it would not be there. So that is a mark of what he did. I think the third one is at the launch. When it was launched by His Excellency the President on February 18th, I think that was one of his high days, and all of us our high days. I think it was great for him to be around in the launch. And I think the fourth memory I have is when we visited Dubai to engage with our anchor tenant at the time, and we were with him, and we were discussing with some of the directors at Carrefour, and they said the space is too small. What we had provided was too small, and they wanted us to extend. And the architect was arguing that it was not possible. And he told the architect, we do what the client wants. we are an agent of the client. Can you fix it, or I get somebody else to fix it? And that's how we expanded the center to go above the road, because it meant the only way it could expand was onto the road. And so we had to take the road down and take the center on top, so that we could deliver for the client. And therefore that attitude of we are here to do what the client wants is, so I think those are my memories of his contribution is immense, but those are some of the things that are noteworthy.
And I know you really like attributing success to your team, and besides Dr. Kirubi, who are the other people that you'll always fondly remember as far as putting up this structure?
There are many people here. There's there are many, and the architect Johan did a great job in terms of translating our vision into what we wanted. We wanted something really iconic, and what he did was truly iconic. Then there was GAP. The original master planners we worked with were called GAP, who laid out the entire master plan, and I think they did a great job. Then there's all the people, our colleagues who've been in Adina Properties, from when we were letting to when we were developing it. People like the late Tim Hitchen, who passed away when we were in the process of construction, and who really dedicated his entire time with us to this particular development. People like Ada Adair, who picked up the master plan from GAP and sort of has continued to give it life. So there's the number of parties who've put it together, the legal team, then even the tenants, because we're just creating a platform for people to come and trade. So all our tenants who have had faith and confidence that saw the big picture, came on board, bought in, and they have walked the journey with its ups and downs, with its difficulties. Those are the real heroes of this story.
Talking about tenant, who was your first tenant, and how did you go about convincing him to come to an unknown place?
Incidentally, we had quite a bit of success when we went out to let. And when we presented the vision, and there was nothing like that in the country, and we had quite a bit of success. We had challenges on the anchor tenant front. We engaged a number of anchor tenants, and they declined, and they gave us conditions, and by that time we were already constructing. And so we had to go out of our borders to look for another anchor tenant, and that's how we ended up engaging with Carrefour to come in as an anchor tenant. And we are grateful that they bought into it, and today this is one of their most successful stores in the country. And so it's been a journey. Some dropped off, some came back, dropped off and came back. But you keep faith, and you keep on marching on.
So it's interesting that, James, you say that what we see here is just 20%.
It's really.
So what is how does the full-blown vision look like? If you can just help us to see.
No, this is going to be in the fullness of time. This is going to be the place, one of the most prestigious addresses, where if you put on your card, your office at Two Rivers, you live at Two Rivers, you're visiting Two Rivers. It's a place to see, to be seen, to work in, with with amenities, with security. This is a vision we have, and it's slowly unfolding.
Yeah.
And if you see it today and you see where we've come from, it's hard to imagine what it was like. And if I play forward 10 years from now, we'll probably be looking at these videos and wondering, oh, you mean this place was so poorly developed in terms of where it will be in 10 years' time?
Yeah.
So it's just that step by step,
Yeah.
overcoming each challenge at a time, never really resting and saying we are successful.
Yeah.
Always thinking. Just this morning I sent an email to the team there with new ideas. Guys, where are we on this? Where are we on this? So always keeping on pushing the boundaries so that we just keep on progressing one step at a time.
Yeah. James, I was here 2011. It was 100 acres of Napier grass.
Yeah.
That's one memory I have.
Yeah.
The other memory I have is when you became the CEO.
Yeah.
And you said there is no reason why Centum would not be having its own building. And now it's not a building, it's a city. It's a city that is coming up.
Yeah.
Very interesting moments to save in our memories. What should we expect in the next couple of years as far as Two Rivers is concerned?
I think as far as Two Rivers is concerned and as far as Centum General is concerned, is that expect growth, expect progress, expect excellence. The little we do will be very good.
Yeah.
And we're not afraid of taking risks.
Yeah.
And we'll continue pushing the boundaries and the frontiers and coming up with new things.
Yeah.
So that's what one can expect of Two Rivers, because everything we've done here, from the roads to the landscaping, is for me a testament to excellence.
Yeah.
And there's a lot more coming. We're continuing to push the boundaries.
Yeah.
And that's what excites me.
Yeah.
That's what challenges me. That's what keeps me awake at night. And also working as a team, recruiting more people into that vision. And always learning from everybody and just trying to keep on moving forward.
Yeah. So James, just to my last question, this sort of project, is it, when you write your biography, will you say it's a project you should do once, or would you do it again?
Look, life is a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful thing to be alive. And when you have such an opportunity, you want to do it. Look, we started here. Now we are working on Vipingo, which is many times larger than this.
Yes.
We are working on Palmarina.
Yes.
My challenge to the team is that this is what you found.
Yes.
You should be able to do many times more.
Yes.
So there's no boundaries.
Yes.
You can do,
Yes.
these things. I would hope that we continue to doing and roll it out across the rest of Africa. Yeah.
Thank you so much, James.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Keep getting better. I think that's the message that we get.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching. My name is Pius Mushiri Mugo, the Managing Director of Nabo Capital, and you're watching Invest in Africa.